I will see you in about an hour. All right.
We got a long list of names here. We got to get going.
All righty. Excuse me. In my first words today, I would like to start with a quote. This is a quote from the Bible, Revelations 21. Then he saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the old heaven and the old earth have passed away. There was no sea any more. And he saw the holy city descending from God, the new Jerusalem, descending from heaven like a bride dressed for her husband. And the words from the throne were heard, that God had descended amongst man, and his throne was amongst man, as he will now live with his people. And there would be no more death, no more crying, and no more pain, as he sat amongst his people. We will refer back to that quote a little later. But let us begin with the healing list. I believe we have some names, Brandon.
Yes, we do. Lynn Aitken, Hazel and Stephen, Jody, Roz Marshall, Teresa Neal, Suzette, Anna and Vivian Sellers, Lena and Tanner, Howard, Lucy and Phil Loveridge, Michelle and Nigel Clark, Pia, Bryce and Margaret, Carl, Ben, Pippa, Peter and Chelsea, Eileen and Ed, Margaret McPherson, Maureen and Jerry, Betty and David Essex, Amanda, Josh, David, Carrie, Danielle, Natalia and Carolina and Tanya, Duncan and Lorna, Loretta Caputo, George, Angelina, Irene, Susan, Stella, Stephanos and Andreas, Dimitri and Miria, Robert Schmidt, James, Brooklyn, Sarah, Haley, Gary, Therese, Tracy, Hart, Peter, and Gina. Thank you.
It was also mentioned last week that we would take 3 names. Anyone that has a block on their path. I wonder, Brandon, if you have anyone there.
I do. Would you like to start with the first person?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Behind door number 1, we have a person named Taylor. And Taylor says, I am sitting for spirit drawing. While in trance, my hand used to move quicker and now it has not. I would like to be able to get back to a better connection that I had previously.
Taylor, my dear, the change has occurred because there has been a change in the way the guide is working. Now, this change will be short-lived, and I suggest that you begin now, as well, when you are ready, in the next day, because this new work will begin for you again. You have requested this to happen, and we have spoken to those involved. I suggest that you sit in meditation with the full expression, or the full intention, forgive me, the full intention of being together with your guide once more. At the moment, the energy with you is rather strong, and I think you will be feeling the effects of the world energy. It appears that you are one that has some disturbances within your sleep pattern, but also within your daily life. Much mind activity, my dear. Now just sit into this stillness. It will begin fairly soon to correct, but it may be another 10 days before you see the results of this work. Please sit in silence, still the mind, as much as you are able. From our side, nothing has left you.
Thank you so much.
Please carry on. And is there another name, Brandon?
There is behind door number 2, we have a Dave. A while ago, spirit guides were speaking through me, and for the past 4 to 5 months, it seems to have stopped. I would like to get this back again.
Dave, there has been a change in your practice. And the practice that you have undergone before seems to have stalled or stopped or changed. Now, you can continue in your new way if you wish, and that will be fine. But expect more delay before the work will recommence. If you wish to restart sooner, then you need to go back to your practices that you were before. The practices of being pushed, not just accepting. The mind also has some busyness, and I say to you now that it is important for you twofold. Also the silence, as I mentioned to Taylor, but you need to be pushed to begin the work. The guides are with you. The frustration is the mental blockages which are existing. You either sit and try to chisel away at the stone of blockage, or you push through it. Hence it is important that for some people it is either a carrot or a stick. In your way, it needs to be pushed a little harder. May I suggest to you that you talk to Terry? I believe Terry is here now. I would suggest you get her contact details, email list, as she will be able to help you in the future. You'll understand once you begin the conversation. Is there another, Brandon?
Yes, finally, number 3, we have Deborah. I have been making mediumship progress over the past 2 years, but not much progress the last several months, including trance. I would like to get back on track with my development.
There is a change in your perception from a active to a passive state. Active as in chasing the information, and the passive state of trance. The information is connected to you, the connection of your guides is with you, again the blockages of the current state of mind. Now, there has been much activity physically within your world, and you've been rather busy. I do know that you sit and you take your time in connecting. The connection is truly with you, One moment. And I now receive information that they will make a change, your guides. You will start to feel the information dropping into your mind as regards mediumship. And look out for your hands, my dear. The hands will be drawn into writing or drawing. 2 weeks is what I have been told. If you will sit for spirit each day, if you are only sitting for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes twice a day, but if you are sitting, say, for 30 minutes, once will be enough. If you commit to that for the next 14 days, at the end of that 14 days there will be a change. God bless you.
Thank you.
And we will take 3 more names next week and attempt to alleviate the difficulties as much as possible. But of times it is the challenge which affirms the ability. Of course, the challenge can be rather too big or too much that you do require assistance, and that is what I am offering. Do not negate the difficulties that you face. See them as strengthening your ability. Now, of course, that is rather easy to do if it's a small challenge, but rather difficult to accept if it's a challenge of many months or many years. But we can help, as long as you are willing to help. And help yourself is what I mean. And of course allow us to do the work as well. We offer ourselves of service. So let us carry on now with our talk. How to have a good death, with the subtitle of How to have a good life. The medical profession of your world is generally only interested in prolonging life. That is its mission, prolong life, prolong life. And of course that seems very admirable and for much of the time is to be respected. But there are times where those in the time of transition do not require a longer life, but rather a greater quality in their last few days or weeks. So it is important that both relatives and the soon-to-be deceased undertake a period of discussion to understand the needs and wants of those transitioning, so they can be changed from life extension to life, as best as possible, life quality. Often people can receive drugs or procedures with the attempt of improving or increasing life, but this puts them in a state where they lose all quality. And at this time they may need conversations and the presence of their loved ones so that they can be together. So it is important that the wishes of those to pass are heard and may be formulated and then discussed or given to those that need to know. In doing so, then the last few days the patient, out of their own choice, may choose to be aware, and may choose then to undertake the activities that we have mentioned in previous talks, so that they can conclude and feel better on their transition, allowing them to step firmly through the veil rather than arriving in a confused state, where they can sit in peace and bliss rather than in agitation and aggravation. As the body begins the process of closing down and the withdrawal of the connection to their spirit body or spirit self begins to happen, then you will find that these last few days and hours are critically important to all. So do not undertake any unnecessary procedures. Honor the wishes of those which are going, and sit with them and listen and be with them. Express these wishes to those that will administer the care. And this is important for life, because often the living chase things which are superfluous to their being. They chase procedures in the terms of work or financial affairs or even connections or assets that they believe will add time or quality to their life. Now they are in control of their own decisions. And you decide that what is important is cars, monies and assets, not what is important in terms of love, bonding, connection. And in choosing the wrong choice, you carry the burden of all this superfluous material wealth. You carry the burdens of all. You carry the burdens of others. And every book, every ornament, every pencil, and every piece of paper that you purchase, you wear. You think they sit on the shelf, but they do not. They sit within your energy. You will know this to be true if you are ever in the opportunity of losing or getting rid of everything or much, leaving yourself with just the basics. To begin with, feeling of uncomfortableness to soon change into the feeling of lightness. And lightness of being and lightness of self means there is then not the weight of the human world on the shoulders. Now, of course, I mention material, but people also carry the emotions of others. They carry the desires of others. Not first understanding their true self, they seek answers externally, as has been mentioned many times. And if I was to carry you on my shoulders, you would know that there is a weight for myself and an uncomfortableness for you. So it is better to understand yourself first. Better to come into the connection of yourself first. To find that kingdom of heaven within you. And to move forward with the joys of possessing or having no bonds. Possessing nothing or having no bonds. If you are held to the earth, then your transition to spirit will be more turbulent, as you must let go and pick your freedom. And in letting go of the chasing for power, for fame, for material, to power to help or to fix others, then you find that indeed you will see that new heaven and new earth. The quote is not meant literally, but rather symbolically of awakening to your true self. And God will sit on the throne of you, and you with him, as you find your purity of being and you feel the love and joy of all. Man thinks the more I have, the bigger and better I am. But the opposite is true. The shining city of Jerusalem is symbolic of the nature of you which awakens. The peace, the love, the joy that comes through you. All the qualities that you wish exist in my world and must be transmitted through you into the physical world, to the other, given away freely, pass through you to the other, and let it flow, do not let it stop, and indeed you will enter the kingdom of heaven. You will feel that joy with you. And this is the occurrence within the world, where those which seek power, fame, and fortune will always meet trouble and turbulence. Those who seek power fear death, and those that seek beauty fear old age. Rather than seeking this material side, sit in the beauty of our side. The quote does not say acquire, it just says observe. It is through your observation that you will come into our world. It is through your observation that you will notice the changes in your world. If you are not observant, your habitual path will take over forevermore. You will live life repetitively, and rather than see a new Jerusalem, you will live the old time and time again. Do you want the repetition of life or the joy of eternal being? Do you want the power of the physical world or the strength of spirit? Spirit is like water. We take the shape of every container and we fill it fully, expecting nothing, but with time will erode the greatest mountain and destroy everything in man, but also sit within the beauty, life-giving force, and what is life without water? You will not find one without the other. So let us be within the bonds of this creation together. Let your side and my side be joined together forever. Let there be no veil, let there be no block. Let the truth of you and I become our truth, not a separated truth of the left and the right, the above and below. And it begins with your awareness and begins with your expression. It begins with opening the heart into the joys of man and letting spirit flow into the purity of all. It is us which grow the crops that give rain, that give the wind, that allow trees to grow and then to fall, so that others may take their place. There is a beauty within life that even on your side now you do not respect. Look into the beauty of an ant, of a fly, of a simple fish swimming by, the seed of the dandelion in the air. It is not possible without us. The whispers on the wind, the dew on the grass, and the tear in the eye. All these that if you do not look you do miss. Is not when you find your beauty and find your peace and recognize the sunset in its glory, is this not accomplished at the time of your peace and serenity? If you chase your world, you miss the simplicity of spirit. If you chase the asset, you miss the love that is at your door. The door is easy to open. It is not stuck. It is not heavy. It does not have a key. It waits for you. The door of heaven waits for you now, right now. And you can pick it now. Or you can wait maybe another 20 lifetimes. But it is there. It sits by your side. It is accessed through your heart. The door does not open into heaven, but opens from heaven into you. So you must put your hand on the door and pull it inwards to allow heaven to express outwards. And you think this is a difficulty. What will I release? Is it Pandora's box or is it the truth? You fear pain, but will receive beauty. You fear the devil, but you will receive the angel. You prefer your darkness and fear about your light. And all you do is love another. Is that so hard? Is that so difficult to do? When you look into your baby's eyes, do you sit in judgment or love? Do you wake up and let the love flow to your child within minutes of their arrival? And is this not the strongest of bonds? Does not spirit look at you in the same way? Can you look at your neighbor, your friend? Do you sit in judgment or love? one is heaven, one is hell. They are both just as one side of the door or the other. Where would you like to live? What is stopping you allowing the door to open? It is not that just some have this door. Some have this connection. It is all and every, from the mighty to the small. When you see that sunset, when you look into the baby's eye, is there not the tear of joy within? And the truth is, the sunset is within you. The love is flowing through you. The beauty is coming through you into the world. The door to spirit is open to all those which will pass. And everything that is born will die, and everything that matters has no need to be born, but just expressed. So let those of you who are poets, those of you who are good with words, those with voice and those with caring hands, those which wish to give and those which can sit in peace, those that can share and those which can give. Let you all express this through your way of application. Hold on to it not. A stagnant love becomes conditional. Retain it not for yourself, and know the joy is in the giving. Let the other be the worthy recipient, and hold it back from no one. The world today is on the precipice of success or failure. Your actions, although maybe in a small corner of the world, will bring the ripple of harmony into the energetic system, will bring a tear to the eye of somewhere in a distant realm, will bring the love into the darkness of hate. Does not the world need more of that now? And you say, I can do nothing. It is beyond my control. You say, what possible assistance can I offer from here? And yet you do not need to leave your chair. You do not need to travel to a distant land. You just need to be in peace and love. So let your love flow. If you have no other, let it flow to the world. Let it travel on the byways and highways of the energetic world. And let it flow to distant corners. Why wait? You are the being of light. You have chosen to be the light. You have sat prior to birth to offer yourself of service to those in need. And yet you worry about what television you will watch. Spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, every minute with love in your heart and giving it away. Not only will you see the love laid on the floor beneath your feet, but it will flow around the world many times, as energy never dies. And if energy never dies, then it is eternal. If it is eternal, then it cannot be limited by time or space or distance. So your love will carry on forevermore. It'll be picked up now, it'll be picked up in 100 and 1,000 and 1,000,000 years' time. Do you want more love in the world? Well, it begins with you. You are called to arms, but not arms from a military perspective, but the arms of the light worker, the channel of spirit, the lovers of love, the ones that can do so much by doing so little. You have offered yourself of service, and now I accept it. And I ask you to stand and let love be in your heart. God bless you all. Until next week. Amen.